What is going on, everybody? It is Wednesday night. So it's time for Gear and Beer Times. A little different one this week because our good friend Joey Landreth has come to visit again.
Hey!
What is everybody up to? We have a 25-second lag, just so you know, whenever we talk to them, we won't hear back for at least 30 seconds. And I appreciate everybody saying that we're in like makeup because I have not combed or done anything to my hair in honestly more than 25 years. And my wife cuts my hair. And I could give two shits how I look at all times.
Well, you are a beautiful man.
Oh, thank you.
Inside and out.
I used to get in trouble when I first started my printing company because I wear t-shirts and jeans. And if I had to go to like a really important meeting, I would maybe wear like a button-down t-shirt and jeans.
Right.
And I showed up to one meeting in Iowa in the summer wearing shorts because it was literally like 45 degrees Celsius.
Yeah.
And the dude that I was meeting with was like, wow, it's like in the entire time I've been doing this, no one has ever walked into my office wearing shorts. And I'm like, man, I'm selling you stickers. Like, that's
you want
what
me to
I'm
wear
doing.
pants?
I'm like,
you got to buy something more than stickers.
I was like, you know what, man? I'm like, this is not rocket science. So I'm like, and I'm from Canada. I'm like, it is way too damn hot here for me to be wearing pants. So anyway, thank you guys for joining us. Tonight we're talking about Novo Guitars is the main thing. Let us know where you guys are watching from. Also, do us a favor, hit that like button, press it, smash it, whatever dumb thing you want me to say that gets you to do that thing that gets more people in watching us.
Smash that like button. Do it.
Share this across all your social platforms.
You can click on it gently if you want. You can hover over it with your trackpad.
Yeah, and you know what? You could wait, and you could like just kind of see like if you enjoy what we're doing and decide whether or not you should actually click on that. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
It's weird, hey?
Yeah.
Yeah. So at least I still have hair. Yeah, I mean, not for long. I've been losing it for like 25 years, so slowly but surely.
Who needs it?
Yeah, you know, one day it'll be gone. So how many of you guys watching are familiar with Novo? Our good friend Travis, which actually, I didn't meet Travis through you, but I think you were the first person who ever mentioned Travis's name to me.
Right.
Back when Travis was with Sir and you were playing some Sir guitars.
Correct.
Yeah, and Travis came by our NAMM booth when we released the D20 and was kind of snooping around. And I always have my badge. I don't wear it around my neck. I always wear it off of my like belt loop or off my belt because I get annoyed with every time I touch a guitar.
So
it's
he was
like
staring at your belt line? That's a thing he does.
He wasn't, but I could see why you'd say he was. But he came up to our booth and he was like, oh, hey, man. He's like, can you tell me how much is this amp? And I was like, it's a lot less than the PT15IR. And he was like, oh, you caught me. And I'm like, yeah. I said, you're Travis? He's like, yeah. I said, I said, I'm a good friend of Joey's. And I said, he's told me lots about you. I'm like, it's a very different thing than the PT15IR. I'm like, and it's $1,200. And he was like, oh. I'm like, yeah. So then he invited me to go check out the Sir amp. And at their booth, and yeah, I went and checked it out. And then it was the next year that we were at NAMM that he was at a different booth with a transformer manufacturer, and I was like,
Triad, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, why is Travis like with this other company? I went and talked to him, and he was like, yeah, he's like, no, I left Sir a few months ago, and I'm here selling transformers, and then hey, and there, speak of the devil, and he will appear. There he is, and yeah, so I started talking to Travis because he had said that he was kind of putting some irons in the fire and was thinking about moving back to the like gear side of the industry, not the supplier to gear manufacturer side. And we were looking for a sales guy, and I think you were probably my first call that I was like, all right, tell me actually like what you think of Travis, because I'm thinking about hiring him. And
I was like, don't do it. He's a complete, utter POS.
Yeah.
And you were like, I'm going to do it anyways.
Yeah.
I was like, you're going to regret this.
Yeah, and I'm like, and then I'm going to make him come to Canada, and you can berate him all you want in the north. I'll make him come here in December or January.
Yeah, that's my favorite thing when you make somebody come to Winnipeg, and then you're like, also, only availability I have is February, so.
Yes. Mm-hmm. When we used to make Travis and Sean come up here for a Christmas party in December, and it's like, And I remember like the first time they came up here, it was super mild, and I'm like, come on, like just one day
Yeah,
of like
that's right.
minus 40. And then we got one day where it was minus 50 with the wind chill, and I was like, yes.
Yeah, I had these guys friends of mine come over from Denmark to work on a record, and it was fairly mild, but like, you know, Denmark gets cold, but not like here. And they got off the airplane, they did, like, their jackets were undone, and the looks on their faces was my favorite thing. I like, favorite memory.
Yeah.
Just the sheer terror.
We took Sean out to our powder coaters the morning that, and Travis too, the morning that it was like minus 50. We took them out to check out the the tilt overdrive when it was getting painted.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was my favorite thing, picking them up at the hotel, being like, it is so damn cold today. This is perfect.
Dude, I used to work for a landscape company, and the boss, his name was Dean, lovely guy. And he felt claustrophobic wearing, like, you know, up here we call them toques, like a hat like this. So he never wore anything over his ears or his hands. So we'd be out like in minus 45, and I'd be in like full thermal gear.
Yeah.
Like nothing but my eyes showing, and he'd be out there with one jacket, his hand tucked into the jacket with the sleeve over one ear. He'd be pushing a snow blower with a cigarette hanging out of his mouth, and then he'd switch sides.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
I've kind of like turned into that guy that like I don't like wearing toques. I don't like wearing stuff in the winter, but I also try to leave here for a decent amount of the winter. I'm like, oh, there's dealers to go see in the south.
My 3-year-old's like that too, and she's like, I'm not wearing a jacket. I'm like, go for it.
Yeah.
So cold outside.
Thank you for comparing me to your 3-year-old. You're about as smart as my 3-year-old.
She's pretty smart.
Yeah.
And you're pretty dumb. So
yeah. So we meet in the middle. So
yeah.
Anyway, so we're talking about Novo Guitars tonight, and Travis built me this, or Travis had them build me this Novo Serus J, and I remember when I got it, he said he wanted to build me a guitar for the live stream, and I was making some T-shirts for him, and he's like, "Can we like do a bit of a trade?" He's like, "I'd love to get you something to check out," and I have to be honest, I've never been like a super huge fan of Novo's body styles. Travis knew that, and I was like. I went through their Instagram. He's like, well, just go on Instagram and see what you like. And I found like this exact guitar that somebody else had built. And I'm like, build me that because it's the thing that I probably would actually play. The other stuff, I'm like, I don't know. And I got it. And
a shining endorsement.
Yes. Well, here's where the shining endorsement comes, is that I got it and it immediately became my, like, honestly, one of my favorite guitars, like definitely tied for like either number 1 or number 2.
Yeah.
My favorite guitar is the Schecter Nick Johnson Strat. And I couldn't believe this. This is my first P90 guitar. And I could not believe how good the pickup sounded. The neck on it felt amazing. And like a true testament for me to a guitar that's awesome is that several years after having it, every time I pick it up, I'm just like, oh yeah, that feels like home. That feels perfect.
Yeah.
And this guitar, every time I touch it, I'm like, this guitar feels amazing. It sounds killer, like, and it does kind of everything, right? Like, it'll do rock and roll tunes if you want. It actually does metal stuff. I can't play metal, but it does. My Sam does it all the time.
Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's the Serus J. I know they have a bunch of different models. I'm not going to lie. I don't know that much about all of the models. But these are Fralin P90s that are in it. It's got this mastery trim, which this is the first time I had used a mastery trim. And I actually regret that I had another guitar being built for me at the same time that I had spec'd out a Godot 510, where they normally put a mastery or a Bigsby on their guitars. And I was like, I really like the Godot 510. That's
the mastery is bonkers good.
It is so good. Like
I have a Jazz Master sort of shaped guitar built by a friend of mine in Germany, and he had a vintage Jazz Master sort of setup.
Yeah.
The whole trim and bridge and whatever, and put it in there, and it's really, really cool, but it's so noisy, which is part of the thing.
Yep.
But then you play a mastery, and it's kind of like, oh yeah, that's cool. It's like this vintage vibe. fucking clanky, you know. And then you pick this up and it's smooth as butter and it plays in tune.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like driving an old car that you're like, this is so rad. And then you get into a new car with air conditioning and power steering and everything. And you're like, screw that old thing. Like,
Yeah.
I'll drive that twice a year if I'm allowed to. And this is my everyday driver. So for those of you that are into specs, this 25.5-inch scale. Yeah. 1.65-inch nut width. It's a pine body, which is, I have another guitar that's a pine body, and I have a Telecaster that is, and I've always found them like, they're not as like soft and easy to dent as I thought they would be. Like I thought they would just be like screwed so fast.
Right.
But they've held up really well, and it's nice that it's light.
I've chewed mine up pretty good, but I'm pretty tough on stuff.
You also actually play music for a living. I play here now.
That's true.
For this much time.
Yeah, right.
So the worst thing
90 minutes a week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do your worst.
Yeah. When it gets kicked into one of the other ones on the stand.
Right.
So, yeah. I don't know what else to tell you about it. This is their, I don't know what they call their neck cards. Like there's a fatter neck and then there's a thinner one. If Travis is in the comment section, he'll tell us what this neck carve is actually called. So, yeah. Sean, the Solus is your favorite shape from Novo. That's cool. We've got one here that they kindly sent us a couple of extra guitars for us to check out. So.
Oh, that's my buddy Sean from around Austin, Texas.
Nice.
His mom or dad, one of his parents is from Winnipeg, and he came up for when I played at Assiniboine Park, played the Lowell George show.
Oh, yeah.
He came up and hung out a bit, and he's a lovely guy and a great buddy. And he sold me that Princeton head that I love so much.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So he's a legend in the comments section.
Nice.
Tempered pine.
Yes. Okay, so they have medium C and chunky C. So this is the medium C, because I don't like really big, like super fat necks. Like I can play them, but I have a few Les Pauls that have like the 50s wide fat, and I'm like,
yeah.
I'll grab any Les Paul that has a 60s neck over the 50s. So, how about you guys in the comment section? Are you guys slim neck or fat neck people?
I got a pretty fat neck.
Yeah. Nice.
It's about this big, and then yeah, it's about that big.
You were saying like earlier that you don't really care what the neck is, like just
Not really.
Yeah.
No, I think like of all the rabbit holes to fall down that I have fallen down, that's just one that I've never really kind of gone down. You know, like all my guitars, what I was saying earlier to you is all my guitars feel significantly different.
Right.
So, and I've just grown accustomed to when I play this instrument, it feels like X. When I play this instrument, it feels like Y.
Right.
And I have one guitar that has a really, really slim neck, and that's the only one that I struggle to play. Just because it's just so thin that it feels insubstantial.
Right.
But like my number one for a long time, that gold, the first gold top, the Sorokin gold top, had a massive neck. It was like a true 54 kind of thing, and
Right.
it's because I played a real 54 and I really liked it. And then Alex kind of modified the neck over the next couple guitars that he made for me. So they're all fairly large, but he's kind of like made them a little friendlier. And like I pick one of them up and it feels pretty close to the other one. And just
Right.
like, well, I don't care. I play guitar like this, like with flappy hands, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I also wonder how much of that is a mark of like the difference between, like I consider myself like an amateur player versus a pro player, right? Like I wonder how much of that matters to those of us that aren't pro players, right? That essentially we need all the help that we can get. So the more comfortable it is, the better I feel like I'm gonna play. That's kind of what I've kind of gravitated, or like what I've kind of come to a conclusion as. Why are you laughing, Luke? Oh, you want me to look at the camera?
Travis
No.
says, I like a medium amount of girth. I'm a big fan of Girth Brooks.
Yeah. Show us the bodies, Garth. Yeah, I probably didn't care early on when I was playing, like, because
Yeah.
I used to play PV Wolfgangs, which have like tiny necks.
Right.
And then just as I got more guitars, I started like, once I got a Les Paul that had a super fat neck, I was like, I don't love this.
Yeah, right.
That being said, I have a Telecaster with a baseball bat of a neck that I'm like, this thing feels awesome, but it's narrower.
Yeah, right. Yeah, like the old the Jeff Beck signature or custom shop Oxblood, that thing was pretty big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. So so that's my Serus J that's here. We've got a couple other guitars to look at, but let's talk about yours because yours is extra special.
It is. It's this is a guitar. It's got frets.
Yeah.
And you can plug this in here, and when you turn this, it goes. No, this is a baritone that these guys are. And I don't know if the baritone model is out now or if this is still. I don't know, Travis. You can give us more information because I'm an idiot, so I don't know anything. But I believe this is a prototype,
Nice.
and we may or may not be working on a little collaboration between myself and those guys. I don't know. We might be. We might not be. Who's to know? Cannot confirm. But
You know, you made Travis either just really happy or really sad. Like, just
shit.
saying that, right? He's like, we are or we aren't. We are. I don't know. Like,
only time will tell,
Yeah.
mon frere. It's a wonderful guitar. I love the way it feels. We've swapped the pickups out a couple times.
Okay.
It had, I can't remember they were Fralins of some sort. And they were cool, but they were sort of lacking, they were lacking a little bit of sweetness. They were really immediate, which I think is good for a lot of things, but I have this particular sort of baritone sound in my head that I wasn't able to get. And so we put in a set of gold foils, which were really, really cool. But then Ron Ellis sent me a set of mini hums.
Yep.
And these are insanely good.
yeah.
Yeah. Ron Ellis is a pickup wizard.
It sounds great.
Yeah. And I have it tuned down to, I play like 99.9% of the time I play in an open tuning. I play an open E, D, or C, and this is tuned down to G.
Yep.
My main guitar is tuned down to C, so it doesn't make sense to have a baritone that's only a half step lower. So
Right.
it's like, it's kind of, I guess it's pretty much in between a standard baritone and a bass 6.
Right.
Which my brother hates.
Okay.
Yeah. Because he's like, quit mowing my lawn. I play the bass. And but it's a killer guitar. It feels great, sounds great, looks great, is great.
27-inch scale, Travis.
Yes.
Yes.
I don't know.
27.
30-inch,
Yeah.
37-inch scale.
Yes. Makes the noises. Let's hear it. Let's hear those killer pickups. The best part of the mastery trim.
Yeah.
28.5-inch scale, so
28.5 inch.
way off.
Yeah, I don't know.
I shouldn't have even taken a stab in the dark.
I mean, you're only an inch off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Somebody's gonna make a joke about that.
Yeah.
I'd have
Travis is gonna say
Lawler
it's
mini
true.
broilers in it, mini broilers.
Nice.
They broiled just a little too much for me.
Yeah.
I needed something that was a little toastier, less broiled.
Gotcha. It sounds great. It looks great. It looks pretty much exactly like this, but with a longer neck on it. So, and then super fat piano strings like you play.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
With also ridiculously high action?
Not so high. High for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have little sissy fingers, so it's
I have very small hands also. You know what I was thinking about is when I was in high school, all I ever wanted to be able to do is do like the side high five where they snap their fingers.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I could never do it because my hands are too small. And I'd always be like, huh. And it'd just be like,
Nice. Yeah. Just, do we need to have a therapy session about what we could and couldn't do while we were in high school?
yeah.
We'll be here all night.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Well, it's cool. Can I try it? I'm not going to be able to play it, but...
You can retune it if you want. I'll play that if you want to retune this.
I'm not going to try to retune it.
Do you want me to retune it for you?
No.
Come on, I'll retune it for you.
It's an open tuning. No. It's an open tuning.
It's fine. Do you know how to play in an open tuning?
Yeah, just hit all the strings.
That is actually kind of, you just like, you... Pick it up, baby. No, I'll retune it.
Fair. I will not try to put this in an open tuning, but you can if you find a way to do it.
I want to see you try to bend one of these strings.
Yeah, I'll try that and see what happens.
It has a wound B string.
I used to do that when I played in like hard rock band, not a B string, but I had a wound G string. Just because I was mainly playing power chords, and I was like, this sounds way better. At least I thought it sounded better. Hey.
Okay, good enough. Yeah.
Fan of your dad's Sonny? Travis? Buck Wild. Yeah, we do play the amps on the wall. It's not that often, but every now and then we do. And right now we just don't have it hooked up properly to be able to do it. We have the 2-Notes Torpedo Captor X, and I took all that stuff apart for NAMM last year and never rebuilt it.
Oh! There you go. Not so bad, right?
No, it's actually compared to when you had, when I played your Serus, when you had those, I was like, you can have it back. Like,
Yeah.
I could not.
The scale, like, yeah, the scale is less friendly. I can still bend those strings though.
You're a much better guitar player than I am, so
I don't know about
fine.
that. I'm just an idiot.
Everyone here knows about that, Joey.
I can't see what that. Oh, I see that. Yeah, right. Derek's always an inch off. There's always one guy, you know, in the comment section, always one.
Yeah, hey, Will, just shoot me a message later about that. Message me on Facebook. How do you feel about the NAMM show?
Yes.
Yes? It's a yes for you? Oh, can I do my country? Like, I just did it, Rob.
Hey! Sorry, I think I keep clipping this microphone. I'm unpredictable and wild.
That's okay. I can't do the rest of it.
Nice!
Not really.
I learned, oh God, what is it? It was a Brent Mason lick. I can't remember what song it was, but I can only remember one part of it.
Those words have never left my mouth. I only learned part of a Brent Mason lick.
Well, it's because I couldn't figure the rest out, because I'm an idiot.
That must feel like playing spaghetti for you after playing this.
It's pretty nice, to be honest. There's a lot of times when I pick up my guitars and I'm like, why do I do this? So awful. And it's not fun. And then I put my guitar down and I go home. and then I have to go play a gig, and then just do it again.
So why do you just find that playing thicker strings and doing what you do, it just sounds better? Is that why?
You know what? I just wound up. I landed on the size strings mainly because of the tuning. But even when I was playing an open E, like before I started doing the lower tuning thing, I was using heavier strings anyway. Like I was using like a 11 or 12 set, and then I would swap the top 2 strings out for two gauges up. So either if it was an 11 set, depending on the scale length of the guitar, I'd go 13.
Right.
Or on Gibson scale length, I would use 14s. And it's just because I think I just play pretty hard,
right.
Especially like as a slide player.
Yeah.
I dig in pretty hard, and I just kind of need the extra attention so that I'm not fretting out all the time.
Right.
So that's kind of what, and anytime I go, because I constantly, I'm like, this sucks, playing this sucks. And I'll change the strings out, and then I go to play slide on it, and it just doesn't translate. So it's kind of, I kind of have like, just painted myself into a annoying corner that one day I'll just be too old to do anymore.
Well, I mean, to play as fast as you do, I mean, your finger strength must be like phenomenal.
Strongest fingers in the West.
Yes. Yeah, because there's no way, like, for any length of time that I could play this.
Right. I don't really ever play stuff kind of like that.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm mostly just playing with flappy hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, with my little flippers.
How did you start doing that?
The flipper
Yeah.
playing? Well, you know, it's just...
Do you want this back so that you can do it properly? Because you're like, there's no way I can do it with this guitar.
I mean, I can try. I haven't played slide in standard tuning in a long time. I mean...
You can try? That was your trying? Hot damn, man.
That's my best lick, okay? The rest is going to be garbage. I don't know. I don't know. Do I play with flappy hands? Yeah, I guess I play with flappy hands. You can tell me. It's like part of it is, you know, because with slide you kind of have to mute all this other strings.
Yep.
And I just do this.
Yep.
I don't know. It's like people are like, walk me through your right hand technique a little bit, and I'm just like, this thing? You want to know about this?
Yeah.
You just grab the guitar and do this with it.
You make sure you hit the one that needs to be hit.
Yeah. Well, I just block them off, and then I just, you know, that kind of thing.
I see what you mean about like with the lower action that like it's tough to have it not fret out.
Yeah.
Right? Like, yeah.
You just kind of hear it. And some people, that's a genuine part of their slide sound, and it's cool. But I never learned how to control it.
Right.
So it just, and for whatever reason, it's just kind of where I landed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't do the flappy hand thing. I'm barely holding on with this. I can't do the hybrid picking thing too. Like the same thing of like I can't do this like the.
You're doing it.
Yeah, because I'm concentrating real hard.
Like it starts to drool, passes out.
Yeah, there's nothing else I can do. Don't ask me another question.
Right.
Otherwise, I'm completely screwed. So.
Right. Son of Groot.
What's up with the tree by the tree? You know what? I don't know why there's 2 trees. Like there's a Christmas tree because well, it's after Remembrance Day, so the Christmas tree can go up.
Right.
But. Yeah, I don't know why they put another plant there. You'd have to ask Luke.
I don't know who did that.
It's the trees. The tree has its own tree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's its son.
It's like when you watch a cartoon that's like the main characters are animals and then they have a pet.
Yes.
Like Franklin has he's got a fish. It's like, don't you know like turtles eat fish?
Yeah. That's why he has them. There's going to be the the really dark Franklin that comes out later as he eats his his best friend.
Yeah.
Use the beer can as a slide. I mean, I like to use Cheetos as slides. Maybe I should wreck Joey's guitar. We had Hawkins Cheesies here one time, and somebody said that would make a good slide or something, and I was like, yeah, sure, why not?
Cheesies?
Yeah, it didn't work very well, but
You know,
it did make my guitar disgusting.
somebody said something. They were hanging out with somebody famous, and they were like, I want to. They were like recording a record or doing something creative, and they were like, I want to try that. And somebody was like, I don't think that's gonna work. And he's like, yeah, we have to make sure it's not gonna work. So, cheesy
Nice.
slide.
Yes.
Yep. Oh, favorite flavor of bubbly. I'm so glad you asked. Today's sponsor is Michael Bublé.
Yeah, and if they could sponsor us, we would take free cases of these.
I'll drive you cocoa nuts. You will drive me cocoa nuts.
Yeah.
Oof.
I'm gonna
That
go
was
with.
real crisp.
I like the peach one.
Really?
Yeah.
You're a sociopath.
Yes.
You know what one I thought I was gonna like was the mango.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I don't like that one.
No.
Yeah, you heard it here first. I do like the coconut one though.
My-
The peach one is actually delicious.
My wife thinks that the green ones taste like Pine Sol or like Pledge. Like she's like, it tastes like you're drinking cleaner, and I'm like, yeah, it's
Yeah,
great.
it reminds me of my early 20s.
Yeah. Like the grapefruit one. No.
Really?
Hard pass.
What-
But my favorite drinks
Really?
are Radlers, like for beers, which is grapefruit and beer. So, but grapefruit bubbly is gross.
Okay.
It's got like a weird bitterness to it, I find.
There you go. I disagree. I like the lime one, classic lime, but
Palms asked, would anyone be able to recommend a good entry-level guitar? Yeah, I played one of the Fender like Squires that was only in Canada dollars, was like was it $179 or something? Was not expensive for a guitar.
yeah.
Yeah, and I was pretty impressed. Like way better than what was available when I started playing, especially at that kind of price point. I don't know. Do you play? You probably never touch entry-level guitars anymore.
Not a whole lot anymore, but it always comes to mind when somebody asks me that question. Like Jack Pearson, do you know Jack Pearson? Great
No.
Nashville guitar player, session guy, slide guitar player, wonderful all around. He was like, he did a stint in the Allman Brothers like after Dwayne died, like just one of the absolute greats.
Yep.
And he plays on like a $200 Squire.
Yep.
And I mean, he's plugged into like a $4,000 boutique handmade amp.
Yeah.
And I've always said, like, I think I would take a shitty guitar plugged into a great amp than a great guitar plugged into a shitty amp. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, anyways, all that to say, I think you just go and, find a guitar that's in your price range and look through all the ones in your price range and pick the one that feels and sounds the best.
To me, the feel is the most important thing. I agree. Like if I had to choose, because we've had that question asked lots, like, shitty guitar or shitty amp, right? Like you get one of the two, and I always say I would take a shitty guitar before the shitty amp. As long as the guitar can be set up and can be played, and that you don't hate it. That's my only other thing that I warn people about when they talk about buying entry-level instruments, is make sure you're getting something that like the action isn't too high, it's also not too low, like it's not buzzing out, that like when you play something you can actually hear, like when you first, for me it was like when you're first learning how to play like, Back in Black or Enter Sandman or something, like some sort of like rock tune from the 90s, right? Or the 80s. I guess I should date myself a little more. But yeah, that it actually sounds somewhat like an E chord actually sounds like the chord in Back in Black. Because if you get a shit guitar and you can't play it, you're just going to quit. Because it's just going to be way too hard to play.
That's true.
So as long as it can be set up. But cheap guitar that's set up well, I would take that for sure, and then expensive amp. Because, I mean, yeah, you can't really fix a really bad amp.
Yeah.
But when you're starting out, who gives a shit? Get a Line 6 Spider or like the Boss Katana, whatever has a bunch of effects and a bunch of cool shit that you can make yourself sound like 100 guitar players. buy that thing that's $150 and
Yeah.
buy any guitar that feels good. And then that way you'll hopefully keep playing.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah. Yeah, and then later on, you'll have an addiction that will last the rest of your life where you throw all your money away
And you'll
on
wonder-
buying fancy toys.
Why don't I own a vehicle? And why do I only eat macaroni and cheese? And then
That's
you look
awesome.
in your closet and there's 40 guitars.
I was going to say,
that get neglected.
when you're paying for a storage facility for all your gear. or
Who, me?
Or, yeah.
Oh, Poo Ninja's in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or-
What's up, dude?
Or you run out of room at your house and you just take it all to your work and hide it at your work.
Yeah. I don't have literally zero guitar gear at my house except for I have a nylon string that sits next to the couch.
I do not have a guitar in my house.
Right.
Not one. Which I should change. Like, I should, because my kids play piano and, like, I should have a guitar around. Even
Yeah.
Just an acoustic guitar. But I have them, they're either not at Rev, don't come to visit us. They are not here. They are at the other facility. No, they're between here. and
The
other
address
facility.
is,
Yes,
and the
exactly.
code to the alarm is.
Yes. If only I had a closet that would fit 40 guitars.
Yeah, yeah, I'm not gonna, what am I doing? Never mind, I'm not giving away my trade secrets. Ooh, crispy. Nice.
Oh, Luke's got a Pepsi tonight.
Let's go.
I gotta say, Pepsi Max, or the Pepsi Zero Sugar, is significantly better than Coke Zero. Like, Coke Zero is garbage. And the Pepsi one it doesn't taste like happiness like a real Pepsi does, but I'm less sad when I drink it.
There you go.
And I'm probably gonna not die as soon. Or
Yeah.
at least not have diabetes as soon if I drink that instead. But,
Right.
yeah,
Hey,
who
speaking
knows?
of that,
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Also, we should check out some of these other guitars that came in.
I'm gonna eat a box of Smarties.
Yeah, you can. Sounds good.
You wanna mute my mic or do you wanna turn it up?
Nah,
We're turning it up.
Dude, I eat chips on the live stream. It drives people, and by people I mean Sam, nuts. Because also then I touch a guitar after eating salt and vinegar chips and hand it to him.
Oh,
So,
loud.
all right, so let's talk about, this is the Solus.
Sorry, what?
The Solus.
I can't hear over my crunching.
Nice. And I'll tune it because I didn't do that before the stream. Anybody in here own a Novo besides Travis that's on here? Or anybody else been checking them out? Oh yeah.
This guitar sounds good.
It sounds awesome.
That's how all my songs go. That's how they start, but then they finish like this. I'm so sad. Yeah, don't buy my records.
Pepsi Max. Yeah.
My music is so boring. There's actually a warning on the
Hey,
back
what's
of the
up, TJ?
CD not to listen to it while you drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too relaxing. Or boring that it'll put you to sleep. My daughter's been telling me that everything that I do is boring.
Yeah.
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 I'm like, dude, I'm literally, like, I tour the world playing music, and she's
You're a
like,
rock
you're
star."
so boring, Daddy.
Yeah.
Just like, damn. Ruthless.
Yeah. My daughter Ruth, that's one of her favorite things to say is like, that's boring. You're boring. That's boring. Anything you tell her to do, be like, well, you can go play with your toys. That's boring. I'm like, well, then why do we have all these toys? Like,
Yeah. I guess I'll just throw them all in the garbage and light them on fire.
I threaten that on a daily basis. Some version of that. Yeah, so these are the two that Novo kindly sent over for us to check out. So this is the Solus. I think it's the S2 or H2 or something. I don't know. It's the Solus.
It's also a guitar.
Yes.
F2.
F2. Yes. And this particular model, for the spec nerds, it's got this thing called the German carve. which I got to tell you, I don't know how I feel about it. I told Travis that before too. Like, it reminds me of like a Les Paul Jr. like style guitar, right? Like, but slightly offset. Like if you took a Junior and smacked it.
You pulled on one end.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Yep. But I don't know. Bo loves the carve. Like Bo's in the background here, and he's into it. Go ahead, Bo.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the old there was like a model of Rickenbacker that had that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like it. I'm into it.
Yeah.
I'm into it.
I'm into the guitar. I'm not sure about that carve though. But you can get it either way.
There you go.
There you go.
You got options.
Yeah.
25.5-inch scale length.
Yeah.
1.65-inch nut width.
Yes. This has the, it's got a Fralin Telly bridge pickup and then a P90 in the neck. Swamp ash body, rosewood fingerboard, tempered maple neck. This doesn't, it feels like the medium C. Maybe it's a little bit fatter actually. This is the chunky C, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, your guitar feels like the medium C. Like your baritone feels more like that one than these to me. But it's probably somewhere in the middle. So, yeah.
Grant, my friend Grant from
Nice.
Australia, from West Coast.
It's a solid F2 or the soulless F2? He's got that autocorrect and he hasn't even programmed his own guitar names into them yet.
What an amateur.
I can't believe it. Travis, do better.
Yeah.
It sounds really good, and that's a Telly bridge pickup. No fair. Why are you adding that? Nah,
Man, you do bar chords, man? You don't know a couple bar chords or what?
Yeah, I know. Like
You
three
rip
or four.
around a couple bar chords, man?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I-
this was the hardest one I learned.
You know that one?
Yeah.
I got that one down real easy. No, that one's too much. Now you're just getting silly. That's not even a real chord. You just made that shit up. right
Everything's
there.
a real chord. This is a chord. That's a chord.
It's a shit one.
Well, you're a shit one. The chemistry is just...
Yeah. Off the rails. You don't hate it, but you'd have to hold it to see if it's comfortable. It's very comfortable, and actually the carve does not bother me like sitting with it. I don't
There you
know.
go. I like it. I think it looks cool.
Yeah.
You know? Feels like, yeah.
I like the body style a lot. I think my buddy, actually he was in here, Rob Baker's got one of these that doesn't have this carve, and it's like a metallic, like green that I can't remember if it was like a Corvette color of green that he liked. That it's a badass guitar.
Cool.
I think I would.
Is it that?
No. It's like
it's a
metallic
custom.
green. Yes. Yeah. I will say this. They all sound like unbelievably good.
Yeah, they're wicked guitars.
Yeah.
Sorry, I keep noodling. I can't
You
help
can.
it. It's just because I am genuinely just really enjoying playing the guitar.
Yeah. That's the way it should be.
I feel like we're like on an infomercial. Like we're the two ladies just like
Yeah.
check out the slap chop.
Except I don't give a shit if you buy one of these.
Yeah.
So.
And I genuinely own 2 slap chops and I like them.
Do you?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, no, they actually broke. They were off-brand slap chops, and instead of slap chops, they had like a.
Did you buy like Temu slap chops?
No, I can't remember where I got. It was like an Instagram ad, and I was like, that looks sick. And then I used it once, and it worked really, really well. And then I used it again, and the string broke because it was like.
Oh yeah.
But now I just use knives like a grown-up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tried buying a few things it wasn't off of Temu, but it was, again, like a Facebook ad that got served to me.
Yeah.
And it was stuff that I was like, oh, that'd be awesome. Like, I think one of them was like, it was something for like either hard boiling or poaching eggs that would make it like super easy. And like, I showed my wife and she's like, where did you get that? And I'm like, the internet. And she's like, throw it in the garbage. I'm like, why? She's like, none of that is gonna be food grade. Like whatever it's made of. I'm like, oh, right. Like,
Yeah.
probably shouldn't cook things for my kids with stuff
I never
that we have
even
no idea.
I never even thought of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes perfect sense.
She did. I will. She's not gonna watch this anyway. But she did buy like, you know what a mandolin is like.
Yep.
So she went to buy
Little
one.
tiny guitar,
Yes.
man, with 4 strings.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
So she went to buy one, and she was like, "Oh, I don't want to spend the money to buy a real one." So she went and bought one off of like Temu, and like immediately cut herself on it. I'm like, and I was like,
Dude, those things are treacherous.
yeah, and I'm like, why did you buy the low rent version of this? I'm like,
ShamWow, yeah.
Like it's
exactly.
not that expensive to buy the real one. I'm like, just yeah, compared to
Yeah.
But anyway, adventures in buying useless shit on the internet that isn't guitar gear.
Yeah, I keep having to talk myself out of buying that handheld vacuum cleaner thing. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, the one.
They're like, don't buy this vacuum cleaner if
Yeah.
you. Yeah, I'm just like, oh, I do want to have a clean car.
The one that you could like blow all your hair back, like it works both ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The internet knows me.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, there's so many useless things you can buy on the internet, but what's not useless that you can buy on the internet is these wonderful Novo guitars. See what I did there?
Hey, that's called a
Hey,
segue, ladies and
yeah.
gentlemen.
Now, Novos are available now through dealers, which is cool.
Hey.
Yeah. I'm actually going to go Lausanne?
In Ottawa.
Ottawa.
Yeah.
I'm going to be there next week for a couple of days, and I want to go check that store out. As
I hung
pass
out
through.
with the fella that owns it at NAMM when I was doing the Duesenberg release thing.
Nice.
Quite a bit. He's a lovely guy.
Dave? Maybe?
Yeah.
It's a hard name for you to remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know too many Daves.
These are the Daves I know.
These are the Daves I know. Why are there so many Daves? Anyway.
Yeah. I don't know what else to tell you about this guitar,
Hey.
besides just how it looks. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds great. The neck is, like I said, it's chunky. It's not too chunky, though.
Like, we got a lot of nerds here. 48 nerds. What's everybody's favorite delay pedal? Because I always have a love-hate relationship with my delay pedal. And I have a lot of delay pedals, and I like them all, but I don't love any of them. Because it's like, I love this one for this one thing, and I love this one for that one thing,
Yeah.
you know? And every time, you know, I do like a multi-delay, you know, it does a tape, and it does a this, and it does a that. I never love them as much.
What do you?
What do you recommend?
Yeah. What do you? You want digital or you want analog?
I mean, I like analog delays a lot, but they have their limitations.
Yes.
I love the Chase Bliss stuff a lot. I had a Sir Discovery. Actually, Sean, my buddy from the Austin area, he sent me his to mess around with for a while, and I really, really liked it. But you know, there's my usual one right now is the L cap. I don't know.
As I was saying before, I have a love-hate relationship with Strymon.
Yeah.
That like the L caps, the ones that I've had, which is multiples, they have all broken where there's like this weird.
You keep
toe
taking them
suck.
swimming.
Yeah. Well, you know, the funny thing is, we don't actually use this stuff that much, right? Like that's
Right.
the other thing that's, you know, always weird to me. Like it's the same thing with the Temple audio boards. Love the Temple audio boards. Love the aluminum. Love the fact that it's a great. Hate their little plates. Sorry, Cass and Ryan. I just use dual lock on them.
Yeah.
But love that like you can pass your cables through if you want. Like
Sure.
you can, yeah, make them look real nice, and they're real light if you're gonna travel with them, right? But their modules that they have, we never take these things anywhere, and our modules, the input modules kept breaking on us, and I'm like, they literally just sit in our studio here until we go to NAMM or go to Sweetwater. Like, they go out for like 5 events a year at the most, and we were still breaking them, which is probably just that we suck, and because obviously shitloads of people own Temple stuff and love it, but yeah, there's just certain things. It's the same thing with Strymons, right? Like everybody else seems to have better luck with Strymon stuff than I do. I mean,
Yeah.
my timeline has broken on me a couple times, and I will say this, Strymon's customer service is hands down, like, it's phenomenal.
They're super good folks, yeah.
Yep. They fixed it. This is actually the timeline that I lent you way back before you.
Oh man, that was on my board for a long time.
Yeah, and like.
I almost claimed squatters' rights on that. But
Yeah. Well, you could have. I should have kept your King of Tone then.
oh shit, you don't still have my King of Tone? Oh, where did that thing go? I'm gonna put it up for sale, I think.
Are you?
Yeah.
I got 20.
20 King of Tones?
No, $20.
Yeah, no.
No? I
want to put it up for sale, but I feel like a douchebag for selling it for what people are asking.
Hell no. Say that and say it's Joey Landreth tour used.
Oh man. Well, so it is the pedal from the solo of Still Feel Gone, which I feel like a lot of people like that solo.
That's my favorite solo.
So make me an offer.
You're like, I feel like a lot of people. Like I know this guy. Like he's like, now just set that hook and reel him in. If you guys don't know Joey, or if you guys don't know any of the Bros Landreth music or Joey's solo music, I will say, I put, this is not just pumping your tires, I tell this to everybody. The solo on Still Feel Gone, I put in my top 5 guitar solos of all time.
Shut up, really? Wow.
Dead serious, like I put it right up with Comfortably Numb and like the best guitar solos ever. It is without a doubt the best. And I remember Paul telling me the story about you doing the solo and about how, unless Paul lied to me, which we're about to find out, that essentially there's a video crew in, I think, and like you had done a couple of passes, but it just wasn't quite working, and then either Murray or Paul was like, all right, get out of here, to the video guys, turn the lights down.
Paul said, let's turn the cameras off and turn the lights down and do one more.
Yeah.
And that was the one that made it on the record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's unbelievable. I mean, that's why when we went and did the Dumble thing in Nashville, that's why I was immediately like, all I want you to do, because I was working for Two Notes at the time, and Joey and I were at Blackbird, and it's the first time both of us got to play a Dumble.
Yeah.
And had our dreams crushed for a minute. And we were shooting a video with the Two Notes Torpedo Studio in the Dumble, and also the prototype of the Generator 740 Mark II. And I remember calling you and being like, yeah, I want to go to Nashville, and like, do you want to come with me? I'm going to play a Dumble and we'll shoot a video. And you're like, yep.
Yep. I'm in.
Yep. And I said, you're like, what do you want me to do? I'm like, I just want you to re-record the solo to Still Feel Gone. And and to this day, that is still one of my favorite videos that we've done.
That was fun. That was a fun
It was
day.
a ton of fun. Shout out to Jason Ross for coming and
Yep.
shooting that and hanging out with us. It was
and Paul for recording it too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course. The infamous Paul Yee.
Needs no introduction.
No.
Or actually really does, because he's the best.
Yes. I can't wait to see his new space. I feel bad that I haven't made it over to see it while it's like in construction.
I mean, I haven't seen it. I just went down to see it when he just got the property, and it was magical then, and I'm sure it's getting even better.
Yeah.
I really like the UA stuff quite a bit. I just did a bunch of work with them on their Dumble release.
Yep.
The Enigmatic, and I don't like amp modelers at all. You can plug into them and you go, yeah, okay, this sounds more like an amp than any of the amp modelers that have existed. But there's always something just kind of like weird. They knocked it out of the park with the Enigmatic.
You were telling me that.
Like terrifying. I plugged into it and it actually made me mad, because it was like, damn it, I'm kind of been afraid of the day when somebody figures out how to do this.
Right.
And they did such a good job, and they, everybody and their, cousin tries to do like a Dumble ODS style pedal, and it's like, a modded tube screamer with extra gain or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, okay, it's saturated, it's mid forward, it's kind of touch sensitive, slap a Dumble inspired sticker on it. But there's something about like the real Dumbles that, there's so much clarity and top end that that's there. Anyway, all that to say, they did such a crazy job on that pedal, and so it kind of makes me want to try some of their other stuff. Like I have I have the first run of pedals they did, like the Starlight, the
Yep.
Golden, and the Astra, and those are phenomenal. They're really, really great.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't know what my point is.
I can
They're-
lend
they're-
you the Dream, the Woodrow, and the Ruby because I did not like any of them when I tried them.
Right.
To be fair to UA, I did not spend anywhere near enough time with them. I just, I'm the type of person that when I plug into a pedal, I want to dial for like 10 seconds, and then I want to
Yeah.
be like, there's that sound. Now let's see how we make it feel cooler.
That for sure is not the case with the Enigmatic, but it's very in line with a real Dumble. Like
Yeah.
you cannot walk up to a real Dumble, as we even discovered
Yes.
that day, almost 10 years ago. We left it on for like 2 hours and came back and we're like, oh shit, this thing sounds awesome now. But it
Yes.
sounded like trash when we
It sounded
first
like
turned it
shit
on.
when we first turned it on, and it was really hard to play, like really stiff.
Yeah,
And-
but like because it's got three, at least 3 different gain stages in them. You really have to you can't just turn them up. You have to hit the second one with the right amount from the first one, and then
Yeah.
drive the third one with the right. You really have to, and it's a balancing act. But once you get it dialed in, it's pretty great. So there is that amount of finickiness with the Enigmatic, but it's like,
Yeah.
it's awesome. I would love to.
I forgot, somebody just mentioned the Lion. I also have that one, but I haven't even played it yet.
I'd love to try those because
Yeah.
because I was
Absolutely.
like I said, like annoyed, so annoyed with how good it is. It's like no Andrew
problem.
Classman.
Yeah.
What's up, buddy?
How's it going, Andrew? Hopefully I'll be coming to see you in the new year. We'll see how things go and what happens. Andrew's our buddy at Sweetwater. He's your guy at Sweetwater?
He's my guy.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm allowed to call you my guy, but he is the guy.
Josie's my guy at Sweetwater. But Andrew comes to hang out every time I go there. And we talk about
Who do you think would win in a fist fight?
Josie and Andrew?
Yeah.
Oh, Josie would whoop Andrew's ass.
Is that true, Andrew?
Oh, yeah. Josie's from like a hardcore band. He's got like tats everywhere.
Yeah, but you know
So-
what? I've seen a lot of tattooed tough
just
guys
might be decorated tough.
snuggling with kitties and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, Andrew comes by and hangs out, and I remember him first coming to talk to me, and I can't remember if he knew that already that we knew each other, or if he just brought you up, because he.
So you guys are Canadian, you know each other? Fuck,
Yeah.
yes, actually.
Well, like he dated a girl from Niverville, so like when I told him I'm from Ile-des-Chênes, he's like, "Oh, I know exactly where that is." I'm like, "Oh, okay, shit." Like, yeah.
Yeah.
So the lovely Sweetwater connections. Which this is useless for Sweetwater tonight because you cannot buy the Novo Guitars there. So
There you go.
There you go. No endorsement for Sweetwater for that. But your UA what did you call it?
Enigmatic.
Enigmatic.
Yeah.
That one. You can go buy that there.
Give her.
Yeah.
Go
Oh,
ahead
yeah,
and get
buds?
her. Go ahead
Oh,
and give her
shit,
on
yeah.
down to frickin' Sweetwaters, man. And
Yeah.
just sweetwaters.com, And you just fucking plug her in there and have a look-see for your UAD pedals. And
That's
just-
right. And we don't have any affiliate links, so just tell them you're looking for Andrew.
Yeah.
And you can go buy that shit.
And he'll cut me a check, right? He'll send it right to my
Oh,
door.
oh,
What a guy.
Nice. Nice. Bud, that's sweet. What a bud.
Oh, Aaron from Dominion. Aaron from the Dominion makes like the best fuzz pedals.
Oh, cool. Hey, Aaron. I
yeah.
can't play fuzz pedals to save my life, so great.
There you go. I'll teach
Yeah,
you.
you
I'll teach
should.
you.
I should get you to teach me. I can never figure out how to do anything besides like some lame impression of like a Jack White or like a Rage Against the Machine style. Like
Yeah.
like I would play. Also does
What
not
is that?
the Swarm.
Oh.
The Beatronics. Do you know that pedal?
I do, yeah.
Yeah. You're like, I hate that. Don't ever turn it on again.
No, I have one of those. It's cool.
I
You know what you got to do? You got to start with a fuzz face, like a germanium fuzz face.
Have one.
Start with the beginning.
I feel like the big red one.
Yeah. Bridge pickup.
Okay.
Turn the knobs all the way up.
Yeah.
Oh, Zonks and Octavius. So, Aaron loaned me his original Zonk machine, the one that was, I won't say, but I have it and it's awesome. And we're also Octavia nerds, like the Tycho Brahe Octavia. Mwah.
Nice.
Anyway,
I like fuzz pedals are still one of the biggest, or like the top selling styles of pedal in the market. Like they outsell like probably every other type of pedal besides overdrives.
it's because you're freaking
overdrives-
sweet.
Yeah, it's because all the hipsters love them.
Tuner.
Yeah, tuner. Yeah. Yeah, hey, that's actually something like, so I'm actually pretty annoyed with my board, right? And it's because actually my Mobius is on your board is the one that I bought from you like 10 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah. Do you remember when I bought that and a road case, which I think you later bought back from me or I gave you back? That red 4x12 road case? You had a huge shit red road case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's yours?
Well, it was yours.
Did I buy it back, or did I just re-inherit it?
Whatever.
Okay, well,
It made its way to me and then back to you because I remember you were selling. Actually, that's when we met. Like, well, I shouldn't say when we met. We met probably through like Dauphin Country Fest and some other place forever ago. But it was right before you did Whiskey. Mm-hmm. You had played at Murray's CD release.
Yeah.
And you had played through a Generator 740. Because I remember I was there with Luke's dad, like with my brother Scott. Because Murray invited us out and he asked for a couple amps for the show, right?
Yep.
And I remember when you plugged into it, I leaned over to my brother and said, well, this will be hilarious because you had played the amp at Country Fest. And we're like, yeah, okay, it's cool. And then you showed me your, you had a wah-wah that Jason had built for you. Right? It was wah-wah amps, right?
Yep.
And shout out to Jason Warwa.
Warwa, yep.
Warwa? Yeah. Another amp builder from Winnipeg, because we actually have like a lot of people in the city that build cool gear.
Yeah, is that dude Peters? He's still making amps?
I don't know, but I've always wanted to try one, and I've never seen one in person.
I tried one back in the day. I went down to his house and yeah, I remember really liking it.
Yeah.
All of his amps were kind of like constellation-y themed, if I remember correctly, but they were fantastic. I don't know if he's still building.
I don't know. I've seen a few people like order a few of them, or like that own them like on the internet, but they're like in the States or overseas that order them. Or that own them. I've never seen one. Never seen one in person. And he's in the city. Like, but yeah.
I wonder if he's still building.
There's lots of cool stuff around here. But yeah, you had the wah-wah amp.
Yeah.
And so then when you got plugged into it, I told my brother, I'm like, oh, this will be hilarious. I'm like, I don't think Joey liked that amp when he tried it at Country Fest. And you hit like one chord or something at the start of it, and your head spun around, and you looked at the amp, and then you turned and looked back out front, and you were smiling, and I was like, oh.
He likes it.
I'm like, he doesn't hate it. And then I emailed you, because you had put stuff up for sale, or I messaged you on Facebook or something, because you had put your Mobius and power supplies and a bunch of shit that I was like, I want the Mobius for myself, and the rest of the shit we'll use taking stuff to NAMM. Mm-hmm. So I remember buying all of the stuff, and then that's when you were like, hey, I played that amp, and I'm doing a record. Like, could you bring some amps down for me to check out? Mm-hmm. And then I came by Stereo Bus, and that was the start of a beautiful, long-lasting,
illustrious relationship.
Yes.
Yeah, and I used that. Was it a 740 or was it a Dynamis? No, the Dynamis didn't exist quite yet, I don't think.
The Gen 740 Mark I.
It was 740 on like probably at least 75% of the guitar tracks.
Yeah.
And then we used a bunch of other things, but it was like the first amp we plugged in. It's such a reliable, awesome sounding amp.
It's a great, there's something special about those Generator 740s, and we don't build them anymore. It is still to this day my favorite circuit that I think Dan ever built. It is the amp that, like, everything we build now is great. I'm not just saying that. Like, I plug into, like, I'm in the D40 right now. It feels awesome. It sounds awesome. I promise you, if I pull down that blue 740 and I plug it in with a 1x12 cabinet and I go to the Crunch channel, I'll be like, oh yeah, like, that's home.
Really?
Yeah, it's just killer. There's something about that, like, Quad 6v6 power section that just, yeah,
Yeah.
it's got something different. So, yeah. Joey, what's your most used rev these days?
My most used rev. Well, I've been using the heck out of the D25.
Yeah.
Yeah, Derek brought a couple of those over to my studio the other day and using the bejeebies out of that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've collected. I've
A few D20s.
You gave me a couple, and I've borrowed a couple, and there's like 2 in Europe.
Yeah.
So D20s I've used a lot.
Yeah. I'd say that's probably the thing that you've used the most. That I know.
Well, back in the day, I used to pick up like. I remember using Dynamis's quite a bit on the road.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would lend you like you took some of the combos and stuff like that. The original Dynamis combo was so heavy.
It was such a pig.
Yeah. And the 210 version of it was actually the better sounding of the two. But it weighed like 70 pounds.
Yeah. And was just like, oh God, never again.
Oh man, I remember Jocelyn Gould used it on one of her records, and she, Paul put me in touch with her, and she called me, and she's like, or no, I came down to Stereo Bus, and she was there. She's like, I love this amp so much, but I cannot lift it. And I'm like, I know.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a big part of why the D25 ended up being what it was. Mike Jeeves, D40 question, why is there no pre-post switch? That's a really simple answer. Because it doesn't actually do anything on Pro Series amps.
What does that mean? What does that mean, Derek?
So on the Alpha Series amps, for anybody who knows, if you know the 2Notes ecosystem, so the remote for the Captor X versus the remote for the Cab M are different, okay? So in the Cab, because it's got, it's supposed to work with a preamp, right? Like they used to pair them with the La Bass and the La Lead and I guess not the La Crunch and the La Clean. The horribly named and not awesome sounding La Series pedals. The Clean one was fine, but the Crunch one was just dog shit. Sorry, Guillaume.
So bad.
The Crunch one was terrible. The La Clean though, I actually liked. So you would use that preamp, and then it could do power amp modeling. So when we first started using the Torpedo embedded stuff, we did the D20 and the G20 first, right? So the Alpha amps before the Pro amps, and the Captor X didn't exist then. So there was only one remote that we could choose from, which was the Cab M remote, which had power amp modeling. So that's the long way around you can model power amps in the D and G20 or D25. In the Pro Series, it has the Captor X remote, which doesn't have that. You're doing great.
Did I get most of that down my shirt?
I hope so. I hope you get home tonight and Anna's just like, have you been eating chocolate?
Yeah, right. She's not going to be awake when I get home.
Yeah.
She's going to be like, intruder.
Yeah. Why does it smell like coffee crisps? It's like so much.
Man.
Like somebody ate 100 coffee crisps.
So bad for American because they don't have coffee crisp.
All American chocolate, besides Milk Duds, is garbage.
Oh, let's say polarizing stuff on the internet.
Sorry, that's not true. I like Raisinets.
All American chocolate is trash.
American chocolate is not as good as Canadian chocolate. And also, American chips, your chips are shit compared to Canada. And I'll happily send 10 people from the live stream a bag of Canadian chips to prove it. So if you join the Rev Amplification community on Facebook.
Alex is in here in Coffee Crisp. Shit just got Canadian AF.
Nice.
Dude, I didn't even know that it was like a Canadian thing.
Do you not, you've toured lots.
Tons, yeah.
Do you not agree that like American chocolate bar choices, like when you're at a gas station and you're driving, because you do the same thing that I do, just on a way larger scale. That like I drive to NAM, so it's 2:00 in the morning when I'm still driving somewhere.
Yeah.
And you stop and you're like, all right, what can I get for a snack? And then you're like, this is mostly garbage.
But everything is just like, like, have you seen these? The most American thing I've ever seen is like the extra stuffed Oreos, and I shit you not, it's
Yes.
like this much icing in it. You're just like,
Yes.
this is insane.
Yeah.
But have I bought that many times? Oh yeah.
Yes. Well, of course. Reese is #1 in the U.S. Yeah, I would agree with that. Flux, I tell you what, because you'll be at NAMM, I will bring. Luke will make sure we bring some.
Don't forget,
some
Luke.
all dressed chips up in this bitch. We'll bring some of those. Some salt
You know
and
what?
vinegar chips.
Controversial opinion. Fuck the all dressed chip.
Whoa!
Can I say that on this channel?
Oh my.
Well,
Are you talking about Ruffles all dressed and saying
I'm
that,
talking
or
about
just-
Miss
old-
Vicky's Old Dutch, whatever all dressed.
All right.
Take a hike.
Hold on. Okay. First of all, Joey.
Wait, somebody says ketchup chips are kind of gross. I think you're kind of gross, Joe Alba.
Yeah.
I hate
I
ketchup
didn't mean
chips.
that. I didn't mean
It
that.
depends on. Old Dutch ketchup is the only ones worth eating, though.
Oh, we got an Aussie in the house. We can put Vegemite. Man, the first time I
You want some Vegemite?
no.
You want some?
No,
Oh,
God.
it's
The
a
first-
rite of passage on the live stream that you have to have some Vegemite. We have some here.
I have had more
Okay.
Vegemite than I need to. No, this
Okay.
is not happening.
Sidebar.
First time I had Vegemite, somebody was like, I thought it was like cinnamon spread. You know, like
Yeah, yeah.
like your grandma used to make. You can get that away from me. And it's like cinnamon and butter and like brown sugar. It's delicious.
Yeah.
I thought Vegemite, so I put it on the way I would put cinnamon. I couldn't taste anything for like a week and a half because it's so salty.
Okay. So,
No.
first of all, Ruffles all dressed are awesome.
Yeah.
So but all the other all dressed chips are all shit. That I will say. Old Dutches suck. So does
Do you like the Ruffles, like the Ripple?
just not the Ripple chips. Just only the all dressed versions.
Ridgies.
I literally have 3 Costco bags of them in my office right now to send to one of my American friends because they can't get them. No, the Vegemite thing, what's hilarious about that is I had my wife and kids come to set up the Christmas tree in that here.
Yeah.
And Luke tricked June into trying Vegemite.
Oh, that is
And,
awful.
I mean, I helped.
Yeah.
We didn't trick her. We were just like,
Yeah.
you should try this.
She ran out of, like it was in here.
The panic in her eyes
She
was
ran out of
crazy.
here and she threw it up.
It was pretty funny.
Yeah.
It
was-
is an extreme taste.
Yeah.
What did Aaron say? Getting involved meant.
My partner is Australian, and if I'd known that getting involved meant some morning smell of Vegemite toast, I might have reconsidered.
Vegemite.
Yeah.
Vegemite.
What's up, Perf? It smells like the inside of a hamster cage. Bring it over here, because he probably forgets.
No, dude.
you have to
I'll
eat it. No,
I'll
you just-
never forget that.
no, you have to smell it. Like, tell me if I'm. Did you ever have a hamster as a kid?
No, but
As an adult?
I had.
Joey Gear?
Oh God. You know what it smells like? It smells like a pissy kid diaper.
Yeah, well, like a hamster cage.
Yeah. Oh man,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not ideal.
You know what though? I mean,
But thank you,
ketchup
Mike.
chips are so weird.
Thanks to Mike Jeeves. Our buddy Mike is from Australia, and he has twice now sent us like a box full of Australian treats.
Oh man, did he
And-
send Lamingtons? Lamingtons, that is my shit.
I don't know. He sent
Tim Tams, you can get them here, but
yeah.
yeah. Man, a Lamington, like a really well-made Lamington, oh, I don't think there's anything better. Most decadent thing in the world.
Oh, that's what Clayton's saying. Oh!
What?
Oh,
We
I
got to
get
show you
it now.
Clayton's world later.
Okay.
Not on the stream though. So, yeah. No, he sent us like some really great like Australian gummies, some of their chips,
The cheezels,
their cheezels, which are like
chippy salt.
yeah, chippy salt. Have you had chippy salt?
I don't know.
It's awesome. We had it. They were just eating it like
Manny,
just-
no. So here's what was going on. Manny was just putting handfuls into my hand. He was like, "You have to eat it now." I was like, "Okay."
Oh boy.
the visual.
I'll do
that
that.
Joey and I
I'll
have
do that in front of
you
the
right
camera.
now.
I'll
Yeah.
do that. In
No,
front of the camera.
no,
I
don't. This
care.
is-
You're good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've used-
devolving quickly.
Here.
But yeah, Vegemite is. Australia should just put it all into a big pit and light it on fire.
I mean, yeah, it's gross.
Stan, I can bring it on Sunday.
Yeah.
want.
But chips, yeah. American chips, yeah. I don't know. I never buy treats at gas stations anymore, but they have fast food open all the time.
Yeah.
And their Taco Bell is actually like significantly better than ours.
Okay. I think this is maybe a little more like, how you grew up. I don't like the American McDonald's.
No, neither do I.
Just trash.
No.
Man, we are gonna absolutely.
I don't-
Just like, yeah.
The problem-
Sorry, guys. It's
the-
just. I'm sorry.
So the problem with American McDonald's is that,
It's gross.
well,
I mean, it's gross here too, but
like Canadian McDonald's tastes different for one, but two, there's so many other better options that are
that's true.
almost always there, and like we don't have anywhere near as good of options for like fast food. Like we don't have Jimmy John's, we don't have Chick-fil-A.
White Castle,
No,
Arby's,
not White Castle or Arby's.
Carl Jr.
We do have Arby's.
Arby's?
Buddy. Yeah.
Well, now we do.
we've always had Arby's.
Yeah.
It went away and now it's back.
Oh, really?
It just came back like this year.
Oh, it was.
I've literally never eaten at an Arby's. The only thing I've ever done at an Arby's is use the bathroom.
You've never had a 5 for $5?
No, bro.
5 beef and cheddars for $5?
Oh God.
Yeah. Dude, I had White Castle once. It was the worst.
I like White Castle. I
Do
mean,
you seriously?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
Oh.
not gonna eat it all the time, but like, for a dirty burg, hell yeah.
No. What?
Yeah.
Joe, no. No, man. You're ragging on American McDonald's, but you eat White Castle?
I like it.
All right, well, you don't like Ruffles all dressed, but you like White Castle. I don't even know what to do.
I don't even know you anymore.
Yeah. What?
Lots of things in Scotland are great. Saying McDonald's in Scotland is best.
I've never been to Scotland.
Scotland is awesome.
You know what? I only went to the UK for the first time in September in my life.
I spent a ton of time over there.
Yeah. I went to Anderton's and I went to Peach Guitars. And
I love the UK probably the most of all the places that I go, but it is the darkest place to eat food because everything is brown.
the food that I ate there was very not good. So it was, I mean, to be fair, we ate like at our hotel
Yeah.
and like at the
There's-
restaurant,
there's
and
tons
it's
of-
fine.
There's tons of good food there, tons and tons of good food there,
Yeah.
but like, yeah, it's just, you got to work pretty hard to not just only eat brown.
Yeah, it was not ideal. Lots of great food in Germany. Lots of great food in France,
Yeah.
Italy.
Germany,
obviously.
Germany, I've had a hard time there's good food there, but you kind of got to go off the beaten path. Although one of the great things about Europe is, and the UK included, is you can go to a gas station and actually have a fresh sandwich,
Yeah.
which that doesn't exist anywhere in North America.
No, I said after the first time I went to France, I'm like, why do we not have every corner store has a fresh sandwich for $4? Like it's
Yeah.
3 to 4 euros.
That's why
Wow.
North America is a godless place.
Yeah. It's not ideal. We have McDonald's instead.
There you go.
Everywhere.
And that's why
Although-
we're the way we are.
Luke and I hyped this up so hard to Luke when we went to Germany last year. McDonald's in Germany used to have the chicken box, which the chicken box had like chicken nuggets, chicken wings, and I can't remember what other, like chicken fingers, like chicken strips, right? And I was like, dude, the chicken box at McDonald's is like chicken box is the best. And anyway, we got there and it was like the chicken and cheese box, and it had chicken nuggets and then these really horrible like deep fried cheese curds that were like shit.
Jalapeno cheese curds.
Yeah, but like bad queso cheese curds.
Yeah, but
It
not
was-
like good bad
yeah.
queso, like not like American queso. It's just bad.
Shane is asking if you're insinuating that you only eat diarrhea in the UK.
No, because that's yucky. Rump steak mit pommes frites and a Weissbier. Weissbier.
Weissbier.
Yes, Weissbier is good.
You mean ja?
Yeah, das ist gut. Yeah, I've spent more time in Germany than I have anywhere else in Europe.
I like Germany a lot.
It's a lot of fun.
I like Denmark. I like Scandinavia.
I went to the Netherlands for only a day and a half, but I was in Amsterdam for an hour, and I was like, yeah, I could come back to this place for
Amsterdam is so fun.
for so many days.
It's so fun.
And I'm not saying that because they have a red light district. I was like, I would love to bring my kids here, like all the bikes and like
Yeah, it's awesome.
killer.
Yeah, I would like, if I could, I would move to Europe. I would move somewhere in Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I would not, but that's, I don't know. I'm a glutton for punishment. That, yeah, I hate it and love it here at the same time.
I mean, I love it here. I really, really love it here. But
I would move to Tennessee if I was going somewhere. But
I will visit Tennessee.
the only reason that I would move to Tennessee is because I feel like it's almost identical to small town Manitoba for me when I go there.
Right.
Like I have the same relationship that I have with you with 20 people there.
Whoa, you're saying that our relationship is
As
repeatable?
Is as special as it is with those 20 people. Yes. Yeah. Oh yeah. Perfecto. Bring Joey to Nam for the ultimate Korean barbecue. Perfecto has an unbelievable Korean barbecue place that I went to with him in Los Angeles. That it was, yeah. Like I'm a bigger dude. I like to eat. Yeah. I was like done, and he's like, "We'll just get a bit more." And there was another meal and a half, and I was like, "All right, well."
Man, remember when we went to Manel's in Nashville?
Yeah.
I was so sick for like 3 days just because of how much we ate.
Okay, you were so sick because we got Hattie B's, and I told you order the mild, and you're like, "No, I want the medium." Or the hot, or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And you were like, I was like, you shouldn't do that. Just trust me. Just get the mild, is nice amount of spice. You'll feel good. And you got like 2 bites into it, and you were like,
I was like, I made such a mistake.
like I can't do it. And I'm like, yeah.
It's like the time I went to Las Vegas for my friend's wedding. This was before I got sober.
Yeah.
And then we ate only hard alcohol the entire weekend. And then I had a burger that was like, because in Canada we have to cook. You have to cook your burgers all the way through because I don't know what mad cow disease or something. But I ordered a burger and somebody's like, "How do you want it cooked?" I was like, "Oh, cool. Like, I don't know, medium rare." So it wasn't. But I was like, "Oh, I got food poisoning. It couldn't have possibly been the gallons and gallons of brown liquor that I just drank."
No.
And I just told myself, "Yeah, I just had a bad burger." Sessions with Jeff. You would have enjoyed Australia a lot more if you hadn't had COVID. That's true. But I love Australia. I spent a lot of time over there, and it's one of my very favorite places to visit.
I've been there once. I was there for 10 days with my wife before we had kids.
Where were you?
I went to Sydney for a few days, and then I was in Cairns, or whatever you call it. Like,
However you say it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Up, like their tropical place, like the Great Barrier Reef.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
It's a great country, great people. Yeah.
The best people. I say all the time, my favorite person in, sorry to anybody else who's watching, because I keep saying that I have favorite people, but my favorite person that I've met in like the dealer distributor side of things is Steve Gray, who owns Infinite Music. He used to be at Music and Audio, our distributor, and now he owns his own guitar store, and he is just like the best dude. Like you and I, that we can sit down and talk about pieces of gear. Like he'll call me and be like, "I got this like Ibanez Explorer thing that I've been waiting like for forever to try to find," and like, yeah, just the best. Yeah, and our Australian distributor, like Music and Audio, Kurt and JP there are also the same thing. Like they're the most like kind of laid back, like just like, yeah, man, whatever.
Chill folks.
Yeah.
Good people.
Yeah. And excited about cool stuff. So
yeah.
Yeah. Don't I tend to go to bigger cities in Tennessee? Yeah, I go to Nashville mostly. Nashville still always feels like a small town. I mean, there's my wife. Yeah, she calls Steve my Australian boyfriend. So
you said Heidi isn't going to watch this.
I did say that, but yeah, I'm in trouble now.
You wouldn't believe the stuff you said, Heidi.
Yeah. I don't know. Nashville's always just felt like a very small community to me. And I mean, Nashville and Winnipeg,
there's a lot of parallels.
Well, up until the pandemic, they were close to the same size.
Right.
Now, I mean, Nashville has exploded, and there's 100,000 people a year that move there.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, have a good one there, Mr. JWJ71. I have no idea. But yeah. Yeah. I like how comfortable these guitars are.
Yep.
Like,
I can't. I
Yeah.
just can't. I keep
Yep.
noodling on it. Bet you didn't know I could do that, eh? Oh.
it makes me sad that you can do it because I can't. Can you pick that?
Like.
He picks it.
No.
Yeah. I didn't know that until recently that like Angus actually picks that. It's not. Sam can do it, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Sam can do a lot of things.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
like
Sam's
the
so
fast stuff.
good
Yeah.
at the guitar. Steve Hubbard has a question for me that I cannot see.
Non-food question for Joey. Do you ever use the drive channel on your amps, or do you exclusively use drives and fuzzes?
Yes. Yeah. On the Two Rock Bloomfield Drive, I live on the drive channel on that because it sounds fantastic. But lately, last couple years of touring, because I did an amp with Two Rock, and it's mostly like a clean, like it'll get a little dirty if you push it, but it's mostly clean. So I've been getting, I went like one of my biggest heroes is Mike Landau, and he used an SD9, which is a very polarizing pedal, and but I used that for quite a while, and I really like it, and then modified versions of it, and then I got my hands on the Vemiram version, or his Vemiram signature, which is awesome. So I just kind of go through phases. Right now, I'm kind of like, I started, because my wife and I just had our second baby back in June, and so I bought a couple amp, like build your own DIY amp kits to kill time, like while the baby is sleeping, because I should sleep, but instead I just frig around with guitar amps. So I built a couple like smaller wattage, like a Brown Deluxe and Brown Princeton, and really, really like them. So I'm kind of going for more amp drive. I got really obsessed with the guitar tone off of Ry Cooder's Get Rhythm.
Okay.
And I believe, and somebody could correct me if I'm wrong, I could not find any information to confirm or deny this, but I believe at that time he was using, and he has been a long-time user of Tweed Fenders, like Tweed Deluxes, Tweed Pros, and I think his main like touring amp was a Tweed Pro.
Okay.
So I think the guitar tone on that song, and it's like one of my favorite slide guitar tones, I think is like a cranked Tweed Deluxe or Tweed Pro. So I started chasing after that sound with pedals and realized, like, you know, there's a lot you can simulate with pedals, but you can't get the power amp thing that happens. And I have a cool Tweed Deluxe clone made by Magic Amp. Sadly, it's out of business now, but it's a wonderful amp. And it got really close. So anyway, I don't know. I mean, I'm wandering now. But the answer to your question is like, kind of, it's very, it's been a very phase type thing for me. Sometimes I use high wattage amps with overdrive pedals. Sometimes I use low wattage amps and just push the snot out of them. Just sort of depends.
Yeah, I think that was one of the things that surprised me the most about you when I met you was that for the most part you were just using, you know, a good clean channel, like whatever was the best pedal platform, because you were just going to get, you know, the majority of your drives from pedals. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I've always been kind of the opposite, where I want there to be really great overdrive sounds in the amp, and I would never have stacked overdrives. Mm-hmm. Like, it's honestly only in the last year as I started collecting way more drive pedals that I'm like, all right, everybody else does the stacking thing, so let me see what it is. And then I start to be like, oh yeah, I understand now why everybody does this, because you can get really, really cool kind of like textures and different types of voicings by doing that. But yeah.
I still to me, nowadays, I would take a pedal that I can get, you know, I'd rather be able to get with the volume knob all the way up, all the dirt and harmonics and stuff that I need, and clean up with the volume pot, than have gain stages.
Right.
You know, even though I've done a lot of gain staging in sort of my career, I would still rather just be able to go, you know. I mean, this is fairly clean. I don't know if there's a pedal that would really. This is kind of like Klon vibes. This is fair. Like, I would go even more, honestly. And then, I mean, the Klons don't clean up like. I mean, they do clean up quite well, but I don't know. I'm trying to make an apple taste like an orange here, but walking that quanked up amplifier. Dude, how long did it take you to write that? Were you like, walking that? No, not quite. That's very funny. I love that. Yes, I basically said that.
Ferocious Mr. Wolf, you're desperate for a Novo Voltour. Just could never afford one. Yeah, they're not inexpensive, but they're unbelievable instruments. So I understand why they cost what they do, but yeah, they are not inexpensive.
Here, give me your home address. I'll just send you this one. I can send him this, right?
Well, I don't. Yeah, just tell Travis you did it.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
He'll be okay with that.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
Yeah.
He won't mind.
Yeah.
He's not in the chat anymore.
No. He showed up for the first 5 minutes to say that he was here, and then he buggered off.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
He clocked in.
Yeah, exactly.
But and left it running. He's watching the Golden Bachelorette. By the way, the Golden Bachelorette is some of the most heartwarming TV I've ever seen in my entire life.
Really?
Yeah, my wife dragged me into it. I was like, no, I'm
Lies.
not. This
Listen to that lie.
is horse shit. I don't like, because I'm not a reality
As he
TV
sits
fan.
down with his popcorn and his glass of, well, you don't drink anymore, so it's not a glass of wine. His glass
of red wine. I'm just like, tell mommy about it.
Sparkling apple juice.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like, it is so wholesome, and like, here, I'll sum it up for you. There's this episode where this one guy gets sent home. You know, it's a bachelorette, right? It's like that, but it's with all people who's like, partners, wives, husbands, whatever, have died. Or, you know, so it's people looking for love in the twilight of their life.
Right.
And people who have been like married for 25, 30 years and their marriage ended, whatever, acrimoniously or through death, whatever. So everybody's like good at being in a relationship. It's so heartwarming. And then this one guy, he gets sent home, right? She's like, I'm sorry, it's just not a fit. And his exit interview, he goes, you know, I came here to find love. And I thought I was going to leave with a wife, but instead, I left with brothers. And it's so freaking wholesome. So if you need something to lift your spirits, the Golden Bachelorette, you know, I never thought I would say that. This sponsored by FX TV.
Yeah. Perf is asking, what's your favorite fuzz right now?
What's my favorite fuzz right now? I mean, my buddy Aaron from Dominion Fuzz out of Ottawa region, he makes unbelievable fuzzes. Like all kind of in the vintage flavor, really beautiful stuff. My favorite kind of, I'm a big fan of this company, Kingsley.
Yep.
And he's an English guy who lives in Vancouver, but he builds all tube-driven pedals.
Cool.
And he's got a tube-driven fuzz, which is an absolute beast, killer. And you can it's really tweakable, so you can kind of voice it like lower gain, or you can make it pretty gnarly. But he makes this sort of custom. It's not like you can order it on his website, but it's not like a regularly offered thing. But he makes this thing called the Troubadour, which is like a 5E3 Tweed Deluxe preamp in a box.
Okay.
Moderately gainy. It is all the woof you could ever need. It is fantastic.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So those are kind of my faves.
Nice.
Yeah.
I have none. I got Perf got me into MXR's hybrid fuzz.
Okay.
Because that with the tilt boost and a guitar with like an original PAF gets you kind of like the Eric Johnson tone, and it sounded like Perf was here doing a clinic at L&M and did Gear and Beer with us, and he was showing me on his board, and I immediately messaged my buddy Brian at MXR, and I was like, hey. Like,
hey, girl, hey.
So, is there industry accommodation pricing for the hybrid fuzz?
Sweet.
Yeah.
I haven't tried one of those.
I have one that you could try.
Cool.
It's a cool pedal. So, anybody else have any other questions about Novo Guitars, or anything in general for Joe or for myself? Said Alec or Alexander asked if either of us have tried the EHX Lizard Fuzz or Lizard King Fuzz.
No, I have not even.
I have not. I've heard of the Lizard Queen, and like JHS did the Lizard Queen. I don't know how that relates. I honestly, I don't know how much electro-harmonic stuff I've really used. Like I've used the Pog, right? Or like the Pog 2.
The Soul Food was their
Yeah.
clone. It was pretty ripping.
Yeah, I have that. I've played that, but I haven't really played much of anything else from them.
I bought a Hog, like the Harmony Octave generator. I spent so much money on it, and I plugged it in once and was like, ugh. And I've never played it since.
Really?
I was like, I have all these big dreams about what I'm going to do with this pedal, and I plugged it in and was like, this is going to be too hard to use.
Nice.
So if anybody wants to buy an EHX Hog, I got you.
Do you have a reverb store?
I do.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, I'm going to load it up with a bunch of stuff.
You're like, now that I know that guy who can ship things for me.
Well,
Well, you know, since Canada Post decided that they wanted to go on strike right before Christmas for all of us.
Well,
Thank you, Canada Post.
I mean, hey, you
Thank
want to
you.
get people to respond quickly, that's what I'd do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Oh, you want to send your stuff for Christmas? How about you pay us more?
Yeah. Yes.
How's the Signature Duesenberg? It is wonderful. Thanks for asking. It's fantastic. I like it quite a lot.
I need to try it. I saw it at your place when I was there, but I have not played it yet.
It's awesome. I mean, you wouldn't like the way it's set up, but
Sure. That's okay. Yeah.
quit trying to get someone to play with your Hog.
Well done.
Touche.
He's trying to get paid for it.
Busted.
Can you scroll up just a second? Or just a second? Sessions with Jeff. Joey, what was your first guitar and amp?
My first guitar. Well, my very first guitar was that's not the question you're asking. My first like electric guitar that was mine was a Telecaster that was made by like a knockoff company called Maya.
Okay.
And my dad's friend found it in the dumpster, and somebody had El Kabonged it, and so the neck pocket was cracked. My dad's a carpenter, so he glued it back together, and then boom, I had a guitar. That was my that was my first real electric guitar. And then my amp was, my dad had a PV stereo chorus.
Nice.
And that was the first amp that I had. Also weighed a bajillion pounds.
Yep.
The overdrive channel sounded horrendous, but it had a really, really nice stereo chorus and reverb. And then my first tube amp was a Trainer YCV40. And it's still out there somewhere in the world.
Nice Canadian brand.
Yep.
Shout out to Lime McQuaid for owning it. Derek, can you describe the Blue Aggression on the Generator series? Loving the Blue Aggression on channels 2, 3, and 4 on my 10th anniversary. I don't know how to describe it. It just, it's also my favorite. The blue like drive level or aggression level on all of our channels, on our amps. I just feel like it, you know, it adds a little bit of saturation, but it also feels like it kind of opens it up a little more. The attack, like everything just feels a little bit punchier, a little bit more lively with it. So I don't know I don't really know what else to say about it. It's just how it feels. So, yeah. Ronnie Ladderbrick. Here's a question for Joey about songwriting. Do you come up with vocals and lyrics with the music, or does music come first?
Mostly music comes first. Yeah. It's mostly start with an idea, a riff, or chord progression, and kind of go from there. But I've written songs from just starting with a lyric or just starting with like a story. It's all, but most of the time it's music first for me. Yeah.
Stretchy jeans or regular jeans? God.
Man, I tried to put on a pair of my old skinny jeans the
Oh,
other
yeah?
day. It was just like I got up to my knees and I was like, these dogs don't bark.
Nice.
Yeah, so, yeah.
You know, stretchy jeans make you feel like you're not as fat as you actually are.
That's
So,
true.
It's nice.
Yeah, that's true.
What's your reverb store name?
It's called the official Joey Landreth Reverb Store.
How original.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
When I
great.
first started, when I did my first collab with Zach from Mythos, I was selling, I was exclusively selling the pedals through my reverb shop.
Oh, yeah?
And I had, I had like a rep at Reverb, and he set me up with like a, yeah,
Yep.
yeah. You know
Was
all
that-
about it.
Yeah, was that with the Mjolnir, or was that when you did the High Road? Fuzz.
Both.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was both.
Very cool. Having a carpenter in the family, has your dad made any guitars?
Yes, he has.
Very cool.
He built me a Telecaster that was my main my main guitar for a long time. I still have it, and it's beloved. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
still play your original guitars?
That Telecaster I play not as often as I should, but it comes out every now and then. It'll make it onto the odd recording. The electronics need to be cleaned, and it's like there's a stack of guitars that need some work done that I haven't been able to get done.
Yeah. I have a stack of guitars that I don't ever actually play where I record anything, so it doesn't matter if it's not working.
Perfect.
If it's not working, it just gets moved out of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Throw
only
it into
if
the garbage.
It's only if like my Schecter always seems to have problems with like the volume pot ends up weird. Mm-hmm. They're CTS pots, but they end up like, I don't know, screwed somehow. So that's the only one that like when it has a problem, I'm like, ha! I'm like, I need this fixed. This goes everywhere. Yeah. Oh no. So, all right. Well, we're probably gonna get out of here in a minute or two. So if you guys have any other questions, lay them on us because otherwise we're gonna head out. Thank you to Travis, who's no longer watching. At Novo for sending over these killer guitars for us to check out. I'm a fan.
Yeah.
I would choose a different color than this. It's not bad. It's just not my. We had. Have you seen the Gibson Theodore?
No.
Yeah, you can grab it. So you got to see the Gibson Theodore.
But I have to clean it off first.
You have to clean it off. Why? What's wrong with it?
Bo played it.
Oh yeah, Bo made Paul Stanley from Kiss sick. Kiss had to cancel a few shows because Bo was around him.
What?
Bo touched a few of his guitars, and then we got to when actually TJ, you know TJ.
You
Silver,
probably
right?
shouldn't say this on the internet.
Oh no, I'm doing it.
Well, we've said it.
We've said it so many times. So, do you know TJ Silger from Regina? You do.
Okay.
Yeah, he's guitar tech and like tour manager.
Oh, yes,
like,
yes, yeah.
Does everything amazingly well. Anyway, when Kiss was in town for their farewell tour, TJ was taking care of Paul Stanley, so we got to go to the show and we got to check out Paul's rig and play a bunch of his guitars. And Bo was like over the moon getting to try like one of Paul's guitars.
Right.
And then the next day.
Hey, look at
The
that.
next day, Paul got sick and they had to cancel a bunch of shows.
Did
and
he
we're
have
all
the
like,
vid or what?
Well, we just say all the time. They were like, "Yeah, Bo touched his guitars," and then that was it. He took
Oh,
Paul
okay.
Stanley. Yeah, no,
Okay.
he didn't actually.
Bo-rona?
but- Yeah, everyone lived.
Coronavirus.
Yeah. When Bo coughs, everyone at Rev gets a day off. Yeah, it's like a bomb threat gets called in. Everybody heads out. You can give me. Well, yeah, okay. No,
You want that?
no, I was just meaning you can hand it to me if you want. So this is the Gibson Theodore. So this was one of the designs that like Ted McCarty did that never got made. And then in the last year, as Gibson continues to do like all the weird things from kind of long ago, they brought out this guitar, which people say looks kind of like a tulip. I do like the Explorer headstock, and I like how it sounds. And that's all. Yeah, and the color of this reminds me a bit of that.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of natural.
This is so much better.
The Novo?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's the 50s wide fat neck
This?
that makes me not like fat necks.
Oh, see, I kind of like, I do like that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I also, Gibson's gloss level on their necks also drives me a bit crazy.
Yeah.
Like-
It's like the way my kid puts butter on her toast.
Yeah. Stan Bovid-19.
No, he put Bovid 69 there.
Nice. Oh, nice.
Both at 69. so I'm always roasting my brother because he's got a great sense of humor, but he's constantly putting his foot in his mouth because he just like he'll he like. So here's a great example. We so we have a Midas console and an in-ear rig.
Yep.
That we often loan out or rent out or whatever. And in order to use the software, on like the iPad software, the laptop software, you have to connect to a wireless router. And so my brother, being the ginormous idiot that he is, the passwords are always stupid things. So we rent out our rig to, I can't remember who, like not a huge band, but like a big enough band.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey man, we can't seem to connect to the router like with the password that's written on it. And Dave realizes like, oh shit, I changed the password for the router for rehearsals, and he's like trying to figure out how he can. Is there a way he can change it back remotely or something? And so he has to text this guy. Yeah. So the password for the router is, it's POO 69. Poo poo 69. He's like, yeah. Anyways, yeah, you're. I haven't quite received your deposit for the rental yet.
Nice.
I'm pretty sure the password is still poo poo 69.
Yeah. Well, I mean, no one's guessing that.
I mean, you are now.
Yeah. Everyone knows now.
Yeah. Now you can change our in-ear mix
Yes.
from your iPad if you come to a show. A guitar made from the ugly tree. You don't like it, I guess, there, BBA? Yeah, this thing is
Infinitely
more
better.
awesomer.
Yeah.
What does this sound like?
Which one? Oh. Yes.
Cool.
You gonna play some metal for us?
That's
Yeah.
not bad, right?
Yeah, you're there.
That's his,
You need
what was that?
somebody working next door.
Oh.
What did I do? Oh, I didn't turn the pedal on.
That is so, honestly, it's so fun though. I just want to do it all the time.
That's weird. 3 of my pedals don't turn on. Well, let's try it this way. You gotta play like that.
Oh, that's how.
Yeah.
With the fifth on the bottom.
Yeah.
I love that. I mean, I'm sorry to anybody who actually plays music like that. I probably sound like an idiot.
That's the
But-
way
No,
it
you're
should go.
pretty spot on.
Yeah. It looks like
Career
yeah, I'm
change.
into it.
Yeah, I'll just write boring songs, but with heavy riffs underneath.
I would love it if the next song you wrote included that. Even if it was like somehow like turned into like yeah, exactly. just a gentle tip of the cap to Luke.
Yeah. Cool. All right.
Okay, well, thank you everybody for coming and hanging out with us, and Joey, thanks for coming and hanging out and
Pleasure.
showing us your kick-ass baritone from Novo. Yeah, hit up novoguitars.com. I think that's probably their website. If not, the Google search will get you there.
Yeah.
And yeah, check them out. Cool stuff made by very cool people, very, very lovely people. Like everybody I've met from there is super nice.
Good
and
folks.
Yeah, every guitar I've ever played from there feels great, sounds great. So if you get to the point where you're like, you know what, I want like my forever guitar, they're definitely somebody that I would say is like a huge contender in my book for like if you can only have one like high-end forever guitar, I would say they're definitely up there.
Absolutely.
So yeah, and I'm not here next week, so I think Sam and Bo.
Sammy and Bowie.
There you go. we'll be here with some sort of shenanigans, and I'll be in, I don't know, Ontario or Quebec, one of the two, on Wednesday night. We'll see.
Lucky
Whichever
you.
one. Yeah, good times. So, all right, thanks everybody. We'll see you guys.